Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Baby Brigade. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. I don't normally do videos on Sunday, but I wanted to come on and go over a few plans I have for my crochet adventure. I did finish that blanket. I don't know how many of y'all didn't get a chance to participate in last night's live stream. It was kind of a last minute deal. I was just feeling pretty decent yesterday and wanted to, I missed y'all and wanted to talk to y'all and chat with y'all live, and so I scheduled a live and just went for it. And 9 o'clock seemed to be a good time because that's usually, a good time for me because I'm a night owl, and that's my afternoon basically. So that's why I did 9 o'clock. I will try to do a little bit earlier at some point. It's just so many people do their lives broadcast earlier in the evening on Saturday. I didn't want to step on anyone's toes, other content creators' toes, by being live when they're live. So that's why I went later. That's one of the reasons why I went later. But anyway, in case you didn't want to watch a over 2 hour live stream recording, I'll go ahead and show you this blanket that I just finished, and then I'm gonna go over with you what I plan on doing as far as the blankets for Boggy Creek that I'm gonna do. And I have a favor to ask. So Mr. Lopsided, now I will explain that yeah, that's the top. Okay. My stitch count, apparently, after, which I didn't figure out until I was halfway through it, but my stitch count was off on this blanket from the get-go. Now, on the tutorial, which I will link in the description, she chains 136. I don't know where I got 130 out in my head, but she chains 136. The stitches are worked over 17 stitches, but she chains 136. Anyway, but Amanda chained 147. And then it just proceeded to get more crooked and more crooked. So this is a very lopsided blanket, and I would insert a picture, but sometimes when I insert pictures with the app that I use to put clips together and insert pictures, it doesn't show it kind of floats the picture around and really doesn't show the picture like a still picture, just on the screen still picture. So it's not fair. But I'm gonna try to show y'all this as best I can. I think, yeah, this is the side that's really lopsided. This is not supposed to be pointed like that. It's supposed to be kind of straight. It seems like I just started making the mistake at the very end, because this is the top of it. So this is where but I was doing fine for a long time, and then as I went I screwed up. So I don't know how I managed to do that. But the colors did work together. And it's not a very long blanket, but it's a pretty wide blanket. And it's not as soft as I would like. This yarn was not a terribly soft yarn to begin with. It was okay to work with, but it wasn't, and it's a 60% cotton, 40% acrylic yarn. It's that willow Cobb yarn from, you can get it from, well, you could, before they discontinued it, you could get it from Hirschner's. But I went and checked, and then they have like a listing, but not like you can buy it from. More like you can confirm that they had sold it there at some point, but you can't get it anymore. But they came in 88 yard skeins. I had 5 skeins for each color, and I have 5 colors in this blanket. So, and I was a little wondering if the colors would work out, but the colors did work out. So it did turn out to look okay all together like that. And then I just bordered it with some Premier Basics and cream is what I did here. That's the bottom. and that's just Premier Basics in cream, because I like Premier Basics. I wish they sold that in the regular store, and then you didn't have to order it online, but they don't. So you can get Premier Basics from Premier.com. You can also get it from Hirschner's, and you can also get it from Mary Maxim. Now you might be able to get it from other places, but that's the only places I know that you can get it from. But I really like Premier Basics as a basic acrylic yarn. It's very soft. This is it in red here, and it's very squishy and really smooth on the hook. It's very good yarn, and that's my favorite basic acrylic yarn. If I had my way, that'd be the only basic acrylic yarn I use. But like I said, you have to order it online. You can't just go to Walmart and get it. You can't just go to Joann's and get it, or Hobby Lobby. But I like it a lot. I order it when I can. I'll put it that way. But I didn't measure this, but I will eventually. But this is going in the wash, and then I'll decide if it's going to be a doggy blanket or just a, couch blanket or whatever it's going to be. I don't know. But this was just me trying to get my Crojo back after the failure that was that top. And I have my Crojo back, so I'm very happy about that. And I did that in a week. So obviously my Crojo is back and raring to go. And so last night after the live, I started a blanket for my oldest son's birthday. So I will show that to you in a minute. But I did want to go over some yarns that I'm going to be using for my Boggy Creek blankets. I don't know how many I'm going to make. I think at least 3. I did 2 last year. I'd like to make at least 3 this year. So the first one I've got yarn picked out for. Now I just did get this one in. Y'all saw the video for this past week. This is Soho Color Mist and the Coastal Crush. And then I'm going to pair it with this. I think that works. This is, excuse me, y'all. I'm burping up cantaloupe. I had a cantaloupe. This is Bohemian Romance yarn from Hirschner's. And this is a brushed acrylic. It's beautiful. The colorway is called, where is it? Peacock. Turquoise. Like, over half my stash. And this is, so I think these, since this has got a little bit of a halo to it, and this is definitely got a halo and it's kind of fuzzy, this will make a nice blanket. So I'm going to pair these two together. And I now have 6 skeins of this. So I'm going to pair this together. This is, of course, Premier Bloom Chunky. And this is a 5-weight yarn, excuse me. And I don't think it's going to take, 6 of these. Because, see, this one has 218 yards, 200 meters, 7 ounces, 200 grams. It's 100% acrylic, of course. It's a 5-weight yarn. The colorway is called Bluebell. And I got some more from Walmart the other day. I got 3 more of these because I had 3, but I wanted 3 more. So I got those. The ones I bought from Walmart are in the living room, but I pulled this off the shelf last night. So I got those. And then I got, the Boggy Creek camp is in Florida. So, beachy colors, Florida. Makes sense, right? Anyway, and then I bought this yarn from Mary Maxim, I want to say last month. And so this is, this color is also called Bluebells. Ironic, ain't it? Anyway, this is 100% acrylic. And this is a 4-weight yarn and has 695 yards, and I have 2 of these. So this will also be a Boggy Creek blanket. So that's the yarn I'm making for the 3 blankets. I'm going to start with 3. And since she's collecting blankets up until the first part of next year, I got time to make more if, and I got, of course, yarn that I could make more. If I get those done and feel up to making more, I will. And then I started, since I got finished with that, my oldest son, William, turns 31 next month on the 12th. William's kind of hit a rough patch recently after having to switch jobs. He worked a job for almost a year where he was being degraded and yelled at and told he wasn't human and, you know, all kinds of things. Excuse me. Diet Mountain Dew. Watered down Diet Mountain Dew at this point. But I don't know how he stood it, because Will is a very assertive and most times confident young man. And for almost a year he worked under a man who dug at his self-esteem, called him all kinds of names that I can't say on here, and just almost on a daily basis just screamed and yelled at him and tore him down. And because the job paid well and had good benefits, Will put up with it, and because he didn't think he could do better than that job. And so he was coming up on a year, and he just, you know, very stressed out at that job. It was a very difficult job to begin with. He was sandblasting electric motor parts, and there was safety concerns because there's safety protocols that weren't being met there. So he was also kind of in danger there. If you know anything about, you know, that kind of thing, he describes to me some of the conditions, and basically he could have, you know, been hurt really bad or died in certain circumstances. So it was very, you know, dire situation basically. And so he happened to go into his old work, which is a tire, well, a mechanic shop type deal. It's called Mavis Tire Lube and Express, I guess. Is they do regular car repair too, but they do oil changes and tire repair and tire, you know, sell tires and such. And Will worked there for quite a while, and he's been there a couple of times. And before they changed hands, they used to be Gateway Tire, and then they Mavis bought them because when he started working there, it was Gateway, and now it's Mavis. And so and Will's been doing that type of work for about 10 years. So he's very good at tires and oil changes and that sort of thing, and very good at it. And so he went in there to get a battery, I think, and because that was the cheapest place for him to get a battery for his car. And the guy that runs the place, he said, "Man, can you come back to work for me?" And Will's like, "How much can you pay me?" And so they negotiated a higher pay than Will was making before, and plus commission. And because he gets commission on the tires he sells, and if the customer comes in for, you know, one thing, if Will can upsell them to something else, then he gets a commission from that. So you know, so now and then because they're short-handed, he's getting lots of overtime. So he's actually making more at his old job than he was making the other place. So finally he's starting to get, you know, recover himself and be happy again, which makes me happy, because he was just coming home and so stressed out, and I was so worried about him at that other place that I'm now finally starting to see the old Will back again. But his birthday's coming up, and I started a blanket for him that he likes green, and so it's you know, and then I'd like to do what we did for Johnny. Maybe not as much, because Will would probably be a bit overwhelmed if I don't know, but if y'all could, I'm gonna put his name, his first and last name, in with our Happy Mail address in the description box. If y'all could send him birthday cards, I'm gonna give y'all this much notice because I know you never know how long the mail's gonna take, but just birthday cards, because he's just he got a birthday card, I want to say it was last week, and it was from Paige. She has a channel, Paige, I think it's Paige Loves Pumpkins. She's a fantastic person. She's from out in California, and real sweet lady. She sent him just a birthday card, And it meant so much to Will. He cried. He said he just couldn't get over the sweetness of someone who didn't even know him, to send him to think enough of him to send a birthday card. And to see him react so emotionally to something, to just a simple kindness from somebody, just made me want to do more for him. You know, he does pay rent here. You know, because I pay the phone bill that he has a phone. You know, he has a smartphone on my phone account, and then I pay the car insurance, which is higher because he has a newer car, and we had to have full coverage on that car, and so I pay, you know, quite a bit of car insurance because he's on there. But he pays his part. But I don't know what my life would be without that boy. When I was fighting for my disability, and all I had coming in was Johnny's, my youngest son's autistic, and he gets a disability check, and all I had was that coming in because I couldn't work because I was disabled, and I had to fight for 5 years for my disability. When I was doing that, Will was working and helping support the family. He was splitting his paychecks with me to keep us going for 5 years. Yeah. This is the kind of person he is. He did that for 5 years. And so yeah, he's special. I don't know many young men that would have stayed home and you know, and to help take care of their mother financially. But he did. And it meant so much to me. And I can never repay him, you know, for such a thing, you know. And he'd do it again. If the chips were down, he'd do it again because that's just who he is. I'm so proud to be his mom. I'm just as proud of him as I am John. He don't think he is, but he is an amazing person. He's a rough and tumble, you know, mechanic guy, you know, with rough hands and a rough attitude half the time, but he's got a heart of gold. And I just want to show him how much he's loved and how much he's appreciated. And so I'm gonna show y'all the blanket I'm making him and what yarn I'm using. But William he's something else. Hey, I'm gonna do this while he's not. I'm working on the blanket because it's a kind of a secret project. He doesn't know I'm making him one. But I'm not gonna work on this while he's home or while he's awake because I don't want him to know. But I'm gonna be using this yarn that I've held on to for almost 2 years. But I showed this in the live last night. This Line Brand Basic Stitch. It's beautiful. It's anti-peeling yarn. It's I think it's called, the colorway's called Two Pines, and it only has like 153 yards per skein, and it's a 4-weight, but it's really beautiful. It's really pretty. It's a bit thinner than the other 4-weights that I have paired with it, but it should work out okay. Luckily, I had a couple of other colors that would work with it. I've got let me grab this. I've got Premier Basics in Juniper that I'm pairing with it, and then Premier Basics in Cream that I'm pairing with it. So and I did chain 100 because I'm using the Prairie stitch from Bag O' Day, and this is what I got so far. And I chained 170, so it's going to be kind of a wide blanket. But I got 15 of those little, I got 15 of these. I had to ball it up because it wouldn't come out of the skein right. So I just hand balled it up. I just didn't want to fight the skein. But, so this is what I got so far. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 rows of the solid color, and then a whole skein of this. And then I'll do 5 rows of the cream color, and then I'll do a whole skein of this, and then I'll do the dark. Then I'll do another 5 rows of this, and then just kind of stack it like that. until I run out of this. I don't know if I'll do the haul 15, maybe not, I don't know, but I'll just do it until it looks big enough, and you know, and that'll be his. I'm gonna have to border it. I think I might, I don't know, I'll probably border it in the dark green, because if you look, unfortunately, because this yarn, this variegated yarn, is not as thick as this yarn, and so I'm gonna have to do a border to get that to match up. My edge is straight, but because there's such a disparage in the weight, in the thickness of this yarn, it doesn't look straight. But it'll be okay. I'll make that up when I put a border on it, and it'll be fine. So yeah, more ends to tie in. That doesn't bother me as much as it does some of you. I just see it as busy work. It just doesn't, tedious work doesn't not bother me at all. It's meditative almost to me. It just doesn't bother me at all. So ends to be tied in has never bothered me. I just do it. It's just part of it. So it doesn't bother me. That's why striped projects don't bother me. Even though I will buy self-striping yarn, you know, because it does all that for me. But I don't shy away from projects like this where I'm going to have lots of ends. I don't. I got a project in my head now that I'm going to have to tie so many ends for. But am I you know, deterred because of that? Not at all. But this is going to be long. This is going to be a wide blanket. So, but yeah, I'll be working on this. This will be the project that I work on while I watch TV till 4 or 5 in the morning. But I got a month to work on it and get it done. So yeah. But that's Will's birthday present that he doesn't know that I'm doing, because Will tends to have high-end things that he likes. Of course, he collects knives. You know, he's collected knives since he was 13, I think, something like that. He had an extensive knife collection there for a while, but I think some of them got lost in a move or something. I forget. Oh yeah, there was a closet we had at the other place that got a bunch of mold in it because there was a water leak from the tub. It had been leaking in that closet where a bunch of his more decorative knife sets were. They were decorative little pocket knives that had the hilt of them had pictures painted on them, and they were in little cases. And they weren't expensive knives. They were just, you know, just novelty type knives. But they were in little tin cases, and he had quite a few of them, and they were in a box in that closet. And because he has sinus issues, in that closet, just the mold just got to be so much that he just closed off that closet. And then when we moved from there, we just left whatever was in that closet, because we didn't want to have to stir up the mold. So I think that's where a bunch of his knives went. So, which is unfortunate, because some of them knives were from Arkansas, and because we lived like 9 years in Arkansas, from like 2000 to 2009, and so you know we can't replace those things, but they were more important things to worry about besides the knife collection at the time. But I don't know where we would even get those decorative knives now. But there was one that I bought him at a garage sale of all places that had like a fireman. It was a fireman kneeling down with his helmet, and then there was an angel at his shoulder. It was really pretty. And then he had one with wolves on it, one with bears on it, because his nickname is Bear. And I'll explain this. When Will was about 2, he used to run around like this and go grrr. He would just run and go grrr. And I said, okay, little bear, okay, bear, okay, bear. And so from then on, he was just Bear. And then when he was like 18, he got this, he has this big tribal bear claw on his upper arm. I forget which arm it is. Let's see. It's this arm. And yeah, that was his first tattoo. Somebody's like, I can't believe his mom took him to get his first tattoo. And I'm like, have you seen me? Who am I to tell him he can't get tattoos? He has about 6 or so now. He's got like a shamrock with the Irish flag on his forearm. He's got a flaming skull on his other forearm. That's a mechanic tattoo. That's a gearhead tattoo. That flaming skull thing. That's a typical gearhead tattoo. But he's got a few. But and then he's got a nice long red beard and light blonde hair and blue eyes that'll just go straight through you. He's just a gorgeous human being. He just is. But I don't know how else to describe that kid. But and one time we were on the porch, and I know a bunch of y'all are from, y'all know Garth Brooks has a song called Shameless. And it was playing on the radio, and I want to say he was maybe 2 or 3, and and he was in the song he says shameless, and Will was just like, he would shake his, because in the summertime we would cut all his hair off, like just give him a real short buzz cut, and his head was all shiny, and he was shaking his head, and he just said shameless. And it was just so darn cute. It was just so darn cute. And every time that song comes out, I look at him and I shake my head and I say, shameless. Because it was really just funny. And another time we were going down the road, and I was married at the time, and we had this Volkswagen van, and I was listening to, I think it's the Commodore sings it, Brick House, and and I didn't even know that he was listening to it. I think he was, he might have been 4. I don't remember how old he was, but he wasn't very old. And all of a sudden I heard brick house from the back. He was in a car seat, and I turned around and looked at him and I said, really? I said, really? And he's been into music his whole life, but it was just so funny because he was going brick house. He's just a hoot. He really is just a lot of fun, and I just wanted to share those memories with y'all, so y'all have a little bit of insight as to who you might send a birthday card to. So that's all I want is birthday cards for him, because I just know that it would mean a lot to him. And he deserves it. He deserves it. Johnny deserved his birthday cards, and y'all did way more than birthday cards for Johnny. And I think Will was a little going, really? But birthday cards is all I really want Will to have. I think that he's got friends that'll do things for him. Johnny don't really have anybody as a friend, but besides me and his brother. So that, Johnny needed all those things to feel celebrated. But Will, just cards will do. He's just precious to me. And he has a whole bunch of friends that I'm sure will do something for his birthday. No doubt at all about that. But anyway, I'm gonna close. This is a 30-minute video that I didn't know was gonna go that long. But I hope y'all are having a good Sunday. I'm gonna have a good Sunday. I'm gonna just go work on blankets and find some good TV to watch. Or a lot of times when I crochet in front of the TV, I'll put on my YouTube. I can go to music, and they have like a mix of Joe Bonamassa videos, music videos, which is basically live filming of him playing live, because he does these DVDs of his live performances, and so basically it's videos of his live performances, and I will just put those videos on and crochet, and I can get a lot of crocheting done when I do that. So that's a lot of times that's what I'll do, is I'll just put his videos on and crochet, and you know, that's what I do, just get busy. And so that's probably what I'll do the rest of the day, at least until Johnny decides to make supper. And you know, but that's what I'll do. I'll get some pre-recording done for devotionals, and then I'll go crochet. But I want y'all to have a good afternoon. As you can see, it's bright outside, so it's hot. I did get out. I did go run an errand, and then I came right back home. But I love y'all, and so does Jesus. And please remember to adopt, don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting for you at the shelter or the rescue. And I'll see y'all again soon. Bye now.